to be able to because I've traveled a lot of countries over the world. I mean, lots, all different, and every country is the same, exactly the same. I mean, how do you explain that? I mean, you put a blindfold on me, put me in a plane, and I know exactly what to do in every country.
Well, I wouldn't know what to do in every country.
Well, nearly. Okay, let's say. Well, every country will have the same structure. They will have a government, they will have banks, they will have education system, they will have, some sort of commerce.
Well, shouldn't countries have commerce, banks and schools? I mean, do you want to carry all your money in your wallet?
Yeah, of course, but not in the way that they're set up just to control society, right? Or do you think there are independent banks and schools?
There are some independent banks, but there are a lot of changes. And then, of course, the Federal Reserve prints money that we give away. Got $30 billion here in so far a day, and we print our paper money to pay the interest.
Why do we need money?
That's a good question. I don't know why. Israel needs $10 billion a year. Saudi Arabia needs
I mean, demand and resources could be just distributed. Easy. I mean, you need a liter of milk, you tick a box, you need 2 breads, you tick a box, it gets delivered to your door. And you work, that gives something else to someone else. It could be done. But money controls people, right? It makes debts. Debts is control.
Well, if you borrow money, you're supposed to pay it back.
But you're enslaved by it, right? Because you buy a house. That's it.
Of course, David Rockefeller gets $260,000 a year as a farmer, poor farmer. Of course, that's pocket change for him anyway. They're going to laugh if he puts it on it. Maybe I'll turn into a farmer if I find out what kind of house I should be paid not to raise.
What would you ask? What do you tell David Rockefeller if he comes over here and says, "Look, I've seen your stuff. I like you. I want you to run my new farm, and I pay $100 million a year."
Yes.
I mean, how? We talk about
you my price tag.
Oh, yeah, well, I thought, that's a nice, comfortable kind of thing, isn't it? I mean, everybody has its price, right?
$100 million is a good price.
And for them, nothing. It's just money. It's not worth anything. Well, money is not worth anything. It's just what we believe in.
Bilderberg tried to buy me out, but every man has a price. I thought he'd had an offer.
Well, I let him know. Well, I mean, that's why, I think, it seems there's a lot of angry people, like here as well, and people always complain about politicians and this and that, but the real essence of it, I think, is that people comply. And I think as long as people don't change, and then the system will prevail, because it's a bloody good system. And it's nearly perfect.
Well, seek out a private independent bank, reach out for a private independent newspaper. That brings to mind how they're so easy to control. As you know, the Washington Post has had its publishers everything since they were invented in 1954.
But it's been bought by
Robert
Murdoch.
also owns 170 newspapers.
Robert Murdoch just bought them all, right? Murdoch just bought them all.
I think I read something about
Washington Post
just before leaving Washington. Now that uses 2 days late in the baseball stores. But Murdoch will talk, I'm sure, just as well, because the Washington Post tells us 170 newspapers, big, small, and broadcast outlets. We will not see the word Bilderberg at all. And this is AP works like a farmer's co-op.
That's a beautiful word, right?
So if AP operating like a farmer's co-op, the bigger your circulation, the more you pay. So they got,
but isn't that, again, like coming back to, like, for example, saying it's not printed, but how can you sell the message, right, that it's so evil people to someone that has an okay job, has a family, and lives his whole life into this system, and you give him, tell him it's all a lie, they just enslave you, and then he asks you, well, yeah, but what's the alternative?
the alternative is to live your own life. So you gotta.
But that's what they say to me. They do.
So you got your private bank. Pay your bills on time. Don't borrow money. So I try not to borrow money. I can understand the young couple making house payments.
But what is going to change? So basically, they're just changing a bank, but don't you think there's more to it?
Certainly, there's be more to it. In fact, the young couple should start when they got their first brand new mortgage. Just say the payment on the little house is $300. I said, look at that amortization expense.
Just flickering a bit. Just turn it down a bit. Just turn it down a bit.
When they look at their amortization schedule, they will see that payment number one is maybe $290 interest, $10 equity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's fine the distance, right?
Instead of paying $300 this month, you pay $310. Now you've wiped out $290. You keep doing that. It goes up a few nickels each month, or maybe just rub it off, pay a little bit more than that. You cut the life of your mortgage from 30 years to 15 years. I'm not an economist. I got in arithmetic. I got up to 6 times 7 is 49. I think I had enough of that.
So do you do the stock market?
So in my head, I have an financial advisor who does.
If you know who the Bilderbergers are, I mean, you would be the prime position to kind of follow their trails.
Well, he always gets copies of my reports. Says they've been very helpful. But I remember writing that story to help people. And then the banks came up with this penalty for early payment lasts 2 years. Okay, go ahead and pay the penalty too. As long as you're still cutting your mortgage payment down by half. If you do it by more, if you decide to go say $400 a month instead of $300. So there's ways people can do things and get that bank paid off. So you.
Or make houses just a normal price. That would be also an option.
You could.
House. For example, if I'm in Bosnia, they build a house for $20,000. If you're in Germany, the house costs you $300,000. It's strange.
Because things are very. I remember buying. Well, I was married for 22 years, 8 months and 16 days, approximately. I'll never be stung by the same bee twice.
Okay.
But 1962, something like that, we buy a house in Arlington, across the Potomac, as you know, from Washington. Or, let's see, $24,000, 5 bedrooms, full basement, 3 bathrooms, big yard. And I thought that was an enormous amount. And the banker making the loan said, your payment must not be more than 25% of your take-home pay. I survived that. Well, real estate salesmen told me that too. They say, we got people get fascinated by just looking at people's home on Sunday afternoon. I tell them, first of all, we've got to find out your price range. What is your income? Your take-home pay. So the bank will confirm when before we go to settlement. So I'm not going to drive people all over town who want to look at the house and they're not really interested in buying. It's just kind of mindset where people find Sunday afternoons fun to go to houses that they don't want to buy. But they know they can't buy. But in those years, they're less sincere. Now, in this housing crash we have now with all these people, homes that are worth less than they're paid for them. Well, some I feel sorry. Well, I guess I feel sorry for all of them. I'm not right winger. But those guys who said, I want to keep up with the Joneses. we're going to buy a big house. So Joe says, no, we're big too. And he says, you pay only the interest for the first 5 years, and then this house will be worth so much more. You'll sell it at a great profit. So you just enjoy this big house, and even with no cash at settlement, no down payment, no settlement.
Ja,